Hello folks, good morning, good evening if it's evening for you, or good afternoon, whatever time it is, but for me, it's the morning. Oh my god, and it's so beautiful. Like, look at some of these majestic leaves that are coming out. Like, they are so fresh and so vibrant. It's spring, and so everything is just coming to life, and it's just, you can really feel it in your soul. And the birds, like this, they talk about how nature is so soothing for the soul, so healing and regenerative. And it is. But it's like water, you know, you can't live without it. And yet it's like something that, like, oh, you only need it sometimes. You only need to go into nature sometimes. And it's like, no, this is our habitat. This is where we evolved to live. Not the forests exactly, like we evolved in Africa, or perhaps we're genetically modified by aliens. I'm not gonna pick sides. Oh, also Adam and Eve, that could have happened too. I'm not picking any of the sides. My beliefs are my own. But what I do know is that nature is a powerful force, and we need it in our lives. We can learn so much from the trees. We can learn so much from all the different creatures that live here. And I think that's what's so powerful about Indigenous wisdom, is that they saw the creatures of the forest as people. The beaver people, the wolf people, the conifer people, like the pine people. They were all souls to these wonderful individuals. And I think that's something that we can learn from. We can learn from how these trees grow. Like, if you think about the beaver people, you think of how they work, like how hard they work, how tirelessly they work. And when you think of, let's see, like the oak doesn't need a lot to survive. It grows in very shallow soils, and it doesn't need much water. So you could learn a lot from that. Like, maybe we don't need much to be able to survive, or something. Like, be like the oak, strong and powerful and able to survive all kinds of conditions. Or be like the wolf, work together and work in a pack. There's so much to learn. And everything has its cycle and season. Everything grows here, and you watch it die every year. And there's something so humbling about that we're able to watch the earth rise and fall year after year. And a lot of the time when we're in the city, we lose track of that. I mean, we can go to the parks and stuff, but it's something to really see an entire ecosystem flourishing within itself. You see the blossoms every spring. Here, I'm going to show you some of the blossoms. They are so beautiful. And I'm just, like, I feel so grateful just to be able to smell a flower, you know? Like, it really brings you back to the basics. Look at this beautiful cherry tree in full bloom. It actually bloomed last week, so it might be losing some of its blossoms now, but it smells so good. So I'm rambling away, and I hope you're doing well, whoever you are, whoever's watching this. I'm sending love, I'm sending you power, I'm sending you confidence to go and after whatever it is you desire. But if you need to take a break, then I'm sending you the power to be able to take that break. Because in this day and age, we don't step back and take care of ourselves enough. And I'm not talking about being lazy. I'm talking about with intention. I'm saying, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to work on this thing, do this for however long, and then I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to meditate, I'm going to connect. And I think a lot of types of lifestyles, like alternative lifestyles, like van dwelling and biking and sailing and stuff, they do force you into an interesting rhythm where you are more connected to Mother Nature. You are more connected to, you know, if there's a storm coming, or if it's like really hot outside, you have to like protect yourself. Like living in the van, if it was going to be really hot, it was imperative that we find shade, because otherwise we would have died in the van, right? It was imperative that we found a place to stay cool. And on the boat, like if it was sunny and there was no wind, well, we weren't able to sail. So we had to navigate our entire plans around being able to, you know, stay anchored in a place. If a storm was coming, we had to move or we had to stay and stock up. Like, it was so, we were so connected to the land. We were so, well, sorry, we were connected to the water in that case, but we were connected to Mother Nature's rhythms, the rhythms of the weather. All right, and we have a problem down here at the lake. Yes, I've brought you down to the lake because I'm going to take some moments to stretch because I haven't stretched enough. And the lake is where there's water and air. Sorry, like, duh, the lake is where there's water. It's early. I haven't had coffee yet, so bear with me. I'm a bit loopy. But yeah, this is where there's wind, so the bugs won't eat you alive. And this is a problem right here. She loves to dig. She loves to dig so much that she just destroys the entire landscape with holes. Oh dear. Winnie, you need to stop. Hey! But she can't because it's in her DNA. It's in her genes to want to dig. And you know what? You know what? Humans did that to her. We created this creature that wants to dig tirelessly and never stops. We create a lot of different creatures and program them in different ways. Anyway, I'm going to try to get the dog. Alright, so I'm going out on the dock. And this is a very small lake. It's actually a wonder that it's even called a lake. It looks very much pond. But the beautiful thing about it is that it's ours. I mean, it's not ours. I don't mean that in like the possessive. I meant it in like, we get to connect and protect this lake and no one else is here. So that's what I mean. Other people are welcome to come. It's just that I want it to stay protected. And some people don't know how to take care of Mother Earth. So yeah, it's a beautiful place. So I'm going to sit here and do some stretching and whatnot. There's a good wind. I also brought my guitar, so maybe I'll play a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Oh my god. I am so stiff. Like, it's incredible. I mean, it is the morning, so when you get up, your body often is just like, oh, please, don't make me do this again. And after the tree hit me, all my muscles, like, because the vertebrae were all crushed, right? So my muscles, they had no ability to hold my spine up. So I had to like regrow all of my back muscles and neck muscles. And so my back, it's been 4 years and it still hurts, but that's the thing. I know like a lot of us are dealing with like chronic pain, or we're dealing with, you know, healing past wounds and traumas and whatnot. And I just want to tell you that you can heal from anything. Like, I'm telling you, like, anything. And if you've gone through any sorts of, and this could be a trigger for some people, if you've gone through any sort of childhood abuse, I want you to know that you can make it through. You can. I am a survivor. I'm living proof that it's possible. So you can do it. And I'm sending you my love. Yeah, so whether it's physical pain or emotional pain, they're different, but they're also the same, right? They're housed within the body. And it's something that we need to connect with. We need to look at those dark parts of ourselves. And a lot of the time we want to hide away from them. We don't want to accept them or connect with them. And it can be really hard because a lot of the time the trauma happened to a part of us that we deemed to be negative, that we deemed to be unworthy, as like a part of our actual personality, right? It's a part that was fragmented from us and separated. And so we have to reintegrate these pieces of ourselves, these pieces that we or society deemed as negative, as unacceptable, and we have to reintegrate them into our existence. Sorry, I can take off my glasses.
It's not too sunny. It's not too sunny here. Sorry, I don't know why I'm trying to do like a Keira Knightley. It's not working. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So it's hard to, it can take years to reintegrate all the pieces. I know, like, it feels like I'm healed. Like, sure, my back has a lot of issues still, but I'm working on it. But like this overwhelming joy and positivity that I feel wasn't always there. I was a very negative person when I was younger. I was very depressed. I was very emotional. I felt everything so intensely, and like everything was my fault, and it was because of me that everything was like wrong, or I don't know. I blamed myself and others. But yeah, it took years to reclaim that power, because as a victim, when you're in that victim mentality, you give away that power to whoever it was or whatever it was that hurt you. You're like, here, take my power. Like, I'm powerless. I'm a victim. I can't do this. And that's a natural state to be in when we've been wronged or hurt. That's completely natural, and you need to accept that, and you need to work with that energy. But it's not an energy that you want to stay in for a long period of time, because that victim mentality can replay itself over and over and over again. It becomes a program, the victim program, and it lives in your mind, and you replay it again and again, and your body gets addicted to the feeling of being a victim. And so you're going to constantly replay in your mind, this person did this to me, this happened to me, and you're going to go back into your childhood and pick all the pieces of, this is why this happened to me. And it's fine to do that at first. It's really good to understand where all the pieces are that turn you into this kind of complex puzzle. It's great to go back into childhood and say, oh, like, you know, this person said this to me when I was 5 years old, and it's affected me for, like, now that I'm in my 30s, right? It's good to know that, but it's not good to cling to something like that. We need to release it. We need to look at it, integrate it, and release it, and be grateful for what it's shown us about ourselves. Because when we have the ability to look at ourselves, not from the standpoint of like, I am this person and that is all, like, no. It's like, you're the artist. Sorry, I'm gonna try, it's like, I'm trying to like explain something to you, but like I'm being eaten alive by black flies, and I'm like, can I be zen with that? Hold on. I'll be zen with it once I get some vanilla. I thought the wind would be more intense, but it's really not. Oof. There's moments. We're waiting for a land breeze right now. So what I was saying is, hold on. Yeah, so I was relating it to being like an artist. Like, your consciousness is like the artist, and your being, like this human form that you are, is like the canvas that you're painting on. And it's okay to like look at the different layers of the paints and like erase things and understand like what this canvas is made of. Or you're a sculptor and you're taking pieces of the sculpture off, you're cutting it here and you're sculpting it here and you're weaving it here. That's what we are, right? We aren't perfect things. We are organic. We are constantly shifting and changing, and that is okay. And it's like, when you identify your being, your name with your trauma, and say, you know, my name is, I don't know, Cindy. Sorry if there's a Cindy here, but I'm Cindy, and this happened to me, and I'm a victim. And you're really identifying that with your entity. And it's saying, it's if only you could just say, this horrible thing happened to this being, but the thing is, you're no longer that being, okay? That thing happened to you in another time. You're not that person anymore. You're a completely different person, because we shift all the time. We are constantly shifting. I'm not the same person I was 2 minutes ago. I'm a completely different person in another reality. It looks similar, it feels similar, but it's completely different. I could make a decision right now that could change everything in my life, right? So what I'm saying is, yes, that trauma happened, it's a memory, but it doesn't need to be you, okay? The tree hit my spine, it injured me, but I spent weeks training myself to enter into a space of no place, no mind, no nothing, just complete spirit, and weaving my spine and healing it with like light being, like little tendrils of light. Like there's entire like shamanic journeys that you can go on and you can see the coolest stuff. I will get into that at some point. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in the spirit world just communing with the different parts of my body, the different parts of my psyche. And that's the great thing about trauma. I know it's horrible to say that trauma is great. Trauma can be terrible too, but trauma has benefits. It helps us unravel this creature that we've created. And sometimes it's important to do that, because you can end up being 40 years old and you're running on these programs that you thought were you and they're not. You realize one day you're like, oh, I'm having a midlife crisis. Who the heck am I? But what these traumas do is they allow you to jumpstart and rewire yourself earlier on in life. They allow you to shift and change constantly. And I'm not saying that having a trauma all the time is good. No, it's not. But I'm saying a trauma can have so much benefit to your evolution, to see it from a positive standpoint rather than seeing it as a negative standpoint. I just swallowed a black fly. Rather than seeing it as something that is wrong with you and you're broken and putting it in these kind of negative connotations. You don't need to do that. You can say, I have a beautiful life. I'm a strong person who is overcoming this. Look at what I can do. Look at what I can create when I put my mind to it. So anyway, that's my rant for the day, for the morning. I'm going to just do some stretching now. Oh, you know what's kind of gross is that when I stretch my back, it makes all these cracking sounds that it never used to, which is kind of eerie and I don't like it, but it's fine. See, like I'm able to walk and stuff, and if I take good care of my body, it can take me all kinds of places. And that's the thing that we forget, is that our bodies are the vehicles of the material plane. And if we take good care of them, then they're going to last a long time. They're like time machines, right? They're going to be able to take us into the future. It's like a car, right? You're not going to put crap into your car. You're going to take good care of it. I mean, if you want to be able to use it, right? Otherwise, it's just going to rust and decay. You're going to need to get it an oil change. Like, there's things you have to do. I keep using a car as an example. I don't know if that's like weird, but we need to take care of our bodies. Oh, there's a blackbird. You hear that? Can you hear that? That's the sound here. Oh, I love that. It's like you're on a northern lake and you hear that sound and it's just here. Buddy? There he is. Where are you? You can see him kind of. There he is. Wow. It's just so wonderful to be able to connect to the forest. Oh, and appreciating the little things, like having the opportunity to appreciate the sound of a bird, or just the stillness of a lake when there's no black flies, or like that first sip of coffee in the morning, or tea, or whatever it is that you like. Drinking water, you know, like it's just, there's such power in the little things, and we forget that in this society because we're constantly striving for more. We're like, I need this giant mansion to be happy, or I need this car to be happy, or I need this many likes or subscribers on my social media to be happy. Give me the dopamine, you know? But if you can, it's cool, you can actually train yourself to need less. So when we were living like in the van or in the boat, we didn't have much, right? Like we had like barely any space at all, no privacy. So getting to go to a beach and just kind of walk alone was like so powerful. And like now, like being here at this lake by myself, I mean, other people could show up, but they're probably sleeping. So being a morning person has its benefits. But yeah, being on a boat was really tricky because you never knew if you were actually safe. So you're sailing the whole time, and you don't know if you could hit something, right? You could hit a rock. Even if the charts say that there's nothing there, there could be something there. There could be a whale or something. You just don't know. And then when you're anchored, a storm could come in the middle of the night and you could get dragged into the shore. Like, you just never knew. And so that constant adrenaline rushing through your body all the time gets you kind of tired. And so when we were able to just kind of live in the forest, and we were just like, oh, like, I can sleep through the night without worrying about smacking into a pile of rocks. Like, it was so freeing in a way, which is so strange because the whole point of the boat was to find freedom. That's what I thought it was, because Jack Sparrow said, what is a ship but a keel and a deck and a hull and sails? That's what a ship needs, but what a ship is. What the Black Pearl really is was freedom. And I thought, like, that line stuck with me, and I was like, oh my God, I hate my life. Jack is right. The boat is the way to freedom. So in my mind, that was the thing I held on to when I was a kid. I was like, one day I will get a boat and I will sail away and everything will be okay. And it wasn't exactly. Like, it was a great adventure, but it was terrifying. And I lost a lot of wealth. I lost some sanity, but I gained a lot of experience, and that's power, I guess, in itself. But I came to learn that freedom isn't something that you go after in search of. It's something that's found in here. So you can have like a boring job and your life isn't perfect, but if you can shift your vibration to that of feeling freedom within yourself, if you like rewire the programming of your mind, then that's freedom. That's going to give you that freedom to make your reality on the exterior plane, like on this plane of reality, whatever you want, right? If you shift it in here, then your world naturally shifts, because we create our reality. I wish they would teach you that in school, I wish they would be like, yeah, kids, guess what? Your thoughts create your reality. Kids would be like, what? But I just imagined, like, hurting that person. Like, well, I don't know what kids think about anymore. They think about the darndest things. But, like, if you'd known that, you'd be a little bit scared. You'd be like, oh my gosh, if I think like a bad thing, then like that thing could happen. And let's be real, oftentimes we think about all kinds of things and they do happen, or they manifest in mysterious ways. But it's a really important thing to garden our thoughts and just take care of our mind, because our mind creates our reality. And I know so many people who are trapped in a particular repetitive pattern of their life. Like, they can't get out of it because they're just repeating the same thought patterns over and over again. And even when they add new ones, like, oh, like, I'm grateful for this and this and this, and they're still replaying the negative thought patterns. So, like, it can only get you so far. So if your belief systems are, I'm powerless and I am worthless and ugly, etc., then that's what you're going to reaffirm. You're going to look in the mirror, you're going to be like, oh, that's awful. But you could just look in the mirror and be like, smile and say, you're gorgeous. And then you'll enter into the reality where that's truly what you believe. But you have to believe it. You have to give that love to that being. You have to open your heart and soul to that creature that you are and say, heck, I love you, okay? I love you. I don't care what anyone else says, because you can't expect anyone else to love you, and you can't love anyone else unless you love yourself first. Doesn't that make sense? And I think a lot of the time, like, we forget that. We forget that we are just as valuable and important as anyone else. And some of us think that we're more important than everyone else, and that's also not true. We're all equal, and, well, we're all different, obviously. These are, like, really obvious things I'm saying, but it's the morning and I haven't had coffee. So I'm just blabbing But you don't have to watch it. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to sit there and watch me if you don't want to. I just want to blab because I feel like it, and I feel called to. I feel like it's right, and so I'm going to do it. And that's what I mean, like, go and do that thing that feels right to you. So if it feels right for you to turn this off and not listen to me, then do it. Go and do something else. But if you want to listen, that's great. Maybe there's something here in this video that you're going to resonate with and that's going to change your whole life. Like, you don't know. I don't know. But one of the things is, if you're just like sitting there and you're like, I should be stretching right now, then go do it. Let's stretch together. Oh, see, for me, holding my arms up like this is so hard. Like, it didn't used to be, but now I'm like, ah. Our entire bodies are so intricate. The muscles, they're all so connected to every bone. It's like just, oh my goodness. And it's so stiff. Ooh. You know, it's interesting that in school they also, like, they don't teach you about really like how the body works. Like, not in elementary school anyways. Like, you would think in elementary school that that's like the thing that you would learn. Hey, welcome to being a human. This is your body. This is what it does. This is what you should feed it. Like, they don't even say like, you need to drink this much water. Like, that's not even in the curriculum. It's like, they just expect that your parents are going to teach you. I'm sorry, but I've seen what some parents tell their kids, and it's terrifying. They think that drinking pop is okay. Drinking pop is not okay. It's like a fucking pile of sugar. Like, have you ever taken a glass of water and seen how many tablespoons you'd have to put in it to equal drinking pop? It's you wouldn't drink it. It's disgusting. But they add in the bubbles, the fizzy. The carbonated water makes you not really notice the sugar as much. That, like, it's poison. Oh. And they just give it to kids. They're like, yep, here you go. Here's all the candy you could ever need. And the kids are like, yum. Oh, it's terrifying. Same with, like, adults, though. Like, the stuff that adults eat. Oh. Because we're programmed. We're used to it. We're used to what we're taught, right? So if your parents give you all kinds of donuts and cakes and stuff when you're little, you're going to think that that's maybe normal, right? You're going to just eat it. But, like, I was raised on like a super healthy level, so my parents like fed us like really healthy stuff, and I hated it. I would go to school and I would trade like an apple for like a donut or like a Oreo cookies. Like, I was like, I hate my food. Like, I hated eating healthy. All I wanted was to eat bad food. And whenever I would get the opportunity, I would go to the convenience store and I would buy like as much like candy as I could because I never got any. So both ways are not healthy. You don't want to completely take everything away from the kid, and you don't want to give them just junk food. It's like such a balance. Everything is a balance. Like, it's crazy. Oh, stretching out. There we go. Yeah, this one, I love this stretch break. Oh, twist the spine. Anyways, I'm going to stop blabbing now. I'm going to let you do your own thing, and I'm going to just stay here and stretch for a bit. I mean, you could keep watching if you wanted. You also don't have to. I could keep it playing, and I could just sit here and just... Actually, I know. I'll play some guitar. I'll play some music. I'll sing a little song, and you can stay for that if you want. Or you can leave. Or you can check out my music channel if you're interested. I do a lot of like healing harmonies and stuff. Yeah. Alright, let me get set up. So, I don't know how good my voice is going to be this morning, but that's okay. You'll just hear me practicing. And then maybe I'll post something on the channel later. I don't know. Oof. So many bugs, it's terrible. Sorry, I had to cough for a second. I'll maybe do something a bit more happy and joyful. But if you do like my singing at all, it has a bit more reverb and stuff on my actual music channel. So also I'm drinking out of a Gatorade bottle because it's convenient, not because I support Gatorade in any way, or they have good bottles. They're easy to drink from. Anyway. Alright. Yes, Mr. Blackflies, I see you. I see you. Take the vanilla. Alright, let's do some like healing spring frequencies from the sun. Alright. Let's see, what do we want to do? There. It's a little taste. If you liked it, you can listen to it more. I'll link down below so you can check out our music. Most of it is kind of dark and melancholic. Yeah, but that's okay. A lot of healing has taken place from that music. So, and that's the thing, like, as artists, like, art is the medicine of the soul. For those of us who have experienced severe traumas in our life, without music and dance and visual art, like, and writing and poetry, you know, like, where would we be? We need that to brush our souls, to wash our souls, because that's a way to go in there and find the pieces and express them in a, you know, abstract way. It's not necessarily like therapy, like telling the therapist what happened to you word for word. It's like, you know, you're singing your poetry of how this person destroyed your soul, but in a beautiful way. So it's so special, it's so sacred, and it's a blessing to have the opportunity to be able to play music, to create art. And for those of you who want to do that and who feel called to do that, take it up, just try. I taught myself the guitar, like, I didn't know how to play it, like, you can teach yourself, you really can. Yeah, and I also taught myself how to make jewelry. Like, I didn't know how to make anything, but I took this little fern leaf and I put it in this resin, and so I do make jewelry too. If you wanted to check out the Etsy shop, I will link that below too. I also have an adventure channel where I went sailing, and so I kind of have put a pause on it, so I haven't posted in a while, but you can check out our adventures if you're interested. They're linked down below. Yeah, so I'm just gonna meditate for a bit, and that's not something that anybody wants to see. So thank you so much for connecting with me and my energy, and I'm sending you all the love in the world, whoever you are, and whatever you need. feel free to like comment if you're interested. I'd love to connect. I love to talk to all kinds of people. So if you're in need of help or anything at all, I will be around to communicate if you're interested. I have a little bit of time. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in maybe another video. Cheers.